Consortium of Human Rights Organizations, HERO, and Ethiopian Human Rights Commission Council, ERCO, from 9 to 13 December 2019, recalling the commitment of the member of State of African Union and Grand Bay Declaration of implementation of provision of United Nations Declaration on the right and responsibility of individuals, groups, and organs of society to promote and protect universally recognized human rights and fundamental freedoms, commonly known as Declaration on Human Rights Defenders, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on 9 December 1998. Further calling the aspirations outlined in the African Union Agenda 2063, particularly aspirations 3 and 4, aiming for Africa of good governance, democracy, respect of human rights, justice and the rule of law, and a hopeful and secure Africa. Considering the Grand Bay Declaration and its plan of action adopted by Organization of African Union, OAU, Ministerial Conference on the Promotion and Protection of Human Rights in Africa in 1999, the objectives and principles contained in the Constitutive Act 2000 of African Union and Kigali Declaration adopted at the first African Union Ministerial Conference on Human Rights in Africa in 2003, acknowledging the Progressive CSO's Proclamation Act number 1113/2019, reflecting major provision of African Commission on Human and People's Rights Guidelines on freedom of association and assembly in Africa. Deeply concerned about the specific challenges human rights defenders face in Ethiopia, including ongoing attacks from state and non-state actors and a restrictive legislative and police environment that impact the security and the work of human rights defenders. Noting the wave of repression that affected most civil society organizations, CSOs, and human rights defenders in Ethiopia over the last 3 decades, and the urgent necessity to largely rebuild and robust and effective CSOs movement, allowing for significant cooperation with regional and international actors through capacity building, technical advice, joint projects, and coalition to strengthen the capacity of local human rights defenders. Reaffirming the principle of rights and responsibility of individuals, groups, and organizations of society to promote and protect universally recognized fundamental human rights and freedoms, bearing in mind the need of synergy, cooperation, collaboration, and best practices, sharing space among human rights defenders in Ethiopia. Noting with high satisfaction the role played in IRA, CERO, defenders, and HERCO in convincing human rights from all the regions in Ethiopia, supporting and strengthening work of human rights in Ethiopia, human rights defenders in Ethiopia. Solemnly decide to this: 1. Launch a countryside network of individuals and organizations with the aim of working together to create a safe and enabling working environment for human rights defenders in Ethiopia, protecting human rights defenders at risk in Ethiopia, and actively engaging with national, regional, and international mechanisms. 2. Increase attention to most at-risk defenders, including but not limited to women human rights defenders, journalists exposing impunity and high-level corruption, ethnic minorities, persons with disabilities, and human rights defenders working on issues of environment, land, natural resource, and extractive industries. 3. Adhere to values and principles of a firm foundation upon which to build effective partnership based on equality, mutual benefit, non-discriminatory transparency, information sharing, do not harm, and respect for each individual organizations to work independently, and finally, have an inclusive membership. Resolve to establish a steering committee comprising of the following organizations and individuals. First, Advocates Ethiopia. Second, Human Rights Councils. Third, Ethiopian Women Lawyers Association. Fourth, Mia's Young Lawyers Center. Fifth, Sarah Justice for All Women Association. Sixth, Vision Ethiopia, Congress for Democracy, Individual Human Rights Defenders. 1. Adam Sa, Lecturer of Law at Bahar Dar University School of Law and Research at IHRA. Ngudai Meskele, lecturer and research at Wolaita Sodo University, and Human Rights and International Law. Third, Lidet Gabrayot, legal assistant at a law firm in Addis Ababa. Four, Ms. Karama Barrami, lecturer at Dila University in Ottawa, and women human rights and activist. Fifth, Saladin Tofik, lecturer of law in Jijiga University and dean of School of Law. Six, Zawdu Mengesha, assistant professor of law at Barda University School of Law. Further, decided to appoint Yared Hailamara, founding member of East and Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Network 2005, and its focal point of Ethiopia since 2006 as a coordinator of Human Rights Defenders Coalition. Invite Sero to host the secretariat of the coalition with coordination with unit to oversee and manage these operations, focusing on protecting, capacity building, and advocacy for the protection of human rights defenders in Ethiopia. Decide that Ethiopian Human Rights Defenders Coalition be fully integrated to the East and Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Network, and request defenders to continue to provide its expertise and mentorship, enabling the network to effective and with a fully functional secretariat. Call on the steering committee with the support of defenders to draft a constitution regulating the coalition with 12 members. Done in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, 13 December 2009, and the people signed with the members.